You ever find yourself in an argument, knowing deep down you're wrong, but you just dig in your heels? It's a funny thing we all do. We argue against a truth that's staring us right in the face, just because we don't want it to be real. Well, today, we're diving headfirst into that very powerful and sometimes very tricky concept: denial. So our guide for this whole discussion is going to be this one card. It's pretty amazing, actually. It breaks down the whole idea of denial into 3 really distinct parts. By walking through each one, we can get a much better handle on this whole complicated behavior. So yeah, let's use this as our map.
All right, so what are we really talking about when we say denial? The card puts it perfectly. It's the act of insisting that reality be something other than what it is. And that's the key, right? This isn't just about being mistaken or not knowing something. No, this is an active, willful pushback against the facts.
And that brings us to the first big idea here. It's all about this fundamental choice we sometimes make. The choice to build and live inside a made-up story, just because the real story feels way too hard to deal with. The card starts with this gentle but super direct suggestion, and I want you to notice that one word, insisting. That implies work, right? It takes real energy to hold up a fake reality when the truth is trying to push it down. So this isn't some passive state we fall into, it's an active thing we do. So why on earth do we do this to ourselves? Well, it's a defense mechanism. It's like building a little fort to shield ourselves from pain or failure or a reality that just doesn't line up with what we want. And you know, in the short term, that little fort can feel pretty safe. But man, maintaining it, that constant effort to ignore what's real, that is exhausting.
Okay, so let's get into the second point, because this is where it stops being a general idea and starts getting really personal. The card shifts from explaining the concept to asking a very sharp question, one that's aimed right at you and me.
And there it is, simple, direct. This question isn't about theory anymore, it's a challenge. What's that one thing, in your job, in your relationships, maybe with your health, that deep down you know is true, but you just keep pushing it away? It's the kind of question that really makes you pause for a second. And this really gets to the heart of the whole battle, doesn't it? This is the choice we're all faced with when we're in denial. On one side, you've got the comfortable lie. It's easy, it's familiar, it doesn't hurt, at least not right now. And on the other side, you've got the difficult truth. It might sting, it'll probably mean you have to change things, but it's the only thing that's actually real.
So what's the final verdict on that choice? Well, the message here couldn't be clearer. That comfort you get from a lie, it's temporary, it's hollow. But the strength you get from actually facing a hard truth, that's real, and it lasts. Living an honest, authentic life is always the better way to go.
Now this leads us to the final point on the card, and honestly, it might be the most provocative one. It takes this big idea of living in truth and applies it to a really specific, really high-stakes part of our lives, our work and our money.
Wow. Okay, that is incredibly direct. It's talking about a specific type of denial, the kind where we pretend to be someone we're not just to make a buck or to feel secure in our jobs. You know what this looks like? Maybe it's exaggerating your skills on a resume or faking passion for a job you can't stand, or just projecting this image of success that isn't quite real yet.
I mean, think about that. Denial isn't just something happening inside your head anymore. It's become a full-blown performance. It's a mask you have to consciously put on every single morning. And the message is loud and clear. That act is draining, it's not sustainable, and it's time to let it go. So how do you even begin to do that? Well, the instruction itself, it's time to remove that mask, kind of gives us 2 steps. First, you just have to acknowledge that the mask is there. You have to be honest with yourself and say, yep, I'm putting on a show. And then comes the second part. You have to make the conscious, active choice to take it off, to decide that being real is more important than the security that performance seems to give you. Okay, so let's pull all 3 of these powerful ideas together. We've kind of been on a journey here, right? We went from a basic definition of denial all the way to a very personal call to action.
When you really boil it all down, the message gives us a clear path. It all starts with just having the self-awareness to notice when you're fighting reality. From there, it's about finding the courage to choose the truth, even when it's the harder option. And finally, it's about taking that courage and applying it to the place where it can be the toughest. Being your authentic self, especially at work. And that's really where this whole thing leaves us. The journey started with the card asking a question, what are you refusing to see? But the final and most important question,
Well, that one's all on you. It's one thing to know what you're avoiding. It's something else entirely to finally turn around and face it. So the real question is, are you ready to look?